Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me once again. What I have been predicting about the radicalization by the extreme left upon American citizens that may be unstable is actually happening. We're going to get into an article in reference to a Democrat, an unhinged Democrat, that runs down and kills an 18-year-old individual with his car. And the report states that the reason why he did it was because of the fact that this person was a Republican. He got into an argument, found the person was a Republican, ran him down with his vehicle. All the stuff that I've been talking about is happening right before our eyes. Let's get into this article. Before I go any further with this article, let me point out right up front that much of this article is an opinion piece. Okay. So the writer of the article is clearly giving his opinion, but I agree with his opinion because much of what he is saying has been what I have been saying in reference to conservatives and what they need to prepare themselves for, unfortunately. So let's get right into this. This is a sad, sad situation, but this is what this is the America we live in, folks. This is the America we live in, unfortunately. Excuse me. The article says, according to a local North Dakota report, early Sunday morning, a man called 911, whatever, and admitted to the hit and run of an 18-year-old. His motive, a political argument with a Republican. 41-year-old Shannon Branditz said he was afraid 18-year-old Kyler Elliston was, quote, part of a Republican extremist group and that he was afraid they were, quote, coming to get him. See that? Why would he think that? Why would he think that? Why would he think that? It's because the mainstream media and people like Joe Biden is radicalizing these unstable people's minds. By demonizing Republicans and demonizing Trump supporters, this is what unstable people will end up doing. It's just evil. It's just evil, man. Evil. There's no way you can justify this, but let's go on. So he allegedly killed Elliston with his car. And the article goes on to say, after visiting the scene where the incident had happened, deputies went to Brandon's house in Glenville, which is about 12 minutes from the crash scene. Brandon admitted to consuming alcohol before the incident and stated he hit Elliston with his car because he had a political argument with him. So let's go on here. I'm going to skip some stuff here because I want to get to the meat of this. I want to get to part of this man's opinion on this. Brandon said has been charged with vehicle homicide and drunk driving. Assuming everything in his report is accurate, and Brandon is convicted of, quote, chasing and running down Elliston. This is almost certainly the result of Joe Biden and the corporate media have been seeking with their relentless demonization of Republicans. I totally agree. We're a danger to democracy, they say. We're evil extremists. Unbelievable. Just this week, a Harvard CAPS Harris poll found that the dehumanization campaign launched by Biden and the corporate media has resulted in 73% of Democrats living with the insane belief that, quote, there are tens of millions of dangerous MAGA Republicans backing violence and trying to overthrow the Constitution. Now listen to this man's opinion here, because I've been saying this in previous videos. Anyone who watched the Black Lives Matter Antifa riots over the last, and I'm not the only one that holds to this view, over the last few years, or is aware of the dozens of vandalized and firebombed pregnancy centers, knows that most of the political violence in America and the world comes from the left. It comes from the left. But listen to this. There are countless unstable Democrats in this country. Same thing I said. And so when you have the United States president, which is a shame, and billions of corporate media dollars focused on portraying everyday Americans as terrorists, unstable Democrats, said that too, will naturally become even more unstable in the certainty of violent righteousness. There is no way to shame Joe Biden, CNN, MSNBC, or the rest into acting like decent human beings. In their quest for absolute power over us, they see whatever further that goal, they see whatever furthers that goal as moral. That's how they see it. And the Bible, this is my point. The Bible says in the last days, evil men will grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. I believe that these radical Democrats are evil, and they're deceived, and they're deceiving others into believing that these Republicans want to kill them and are extremists, and they themselves are deceived because they think that they're doing something more and something good. It's a crying shame that our country has come to this point. But it goes, the writer of this article goes on to say, so all we can do is get a concealed carry permit, learn how to use and carry a firearm safely, and be sure to carry it in the unlikely event you have to defend yourself. He's absolutely right. That's not an extremist statement. He says, I don't want anybody to say, oh, that's an extremist statement. Man, we got to come out of our emotions. I keep telling people, come out your emotions, bro. Come out your emotions. Let's deal with the facts here. Come out of your emotions. What this writer of this article just said makes perfectly good sense. Unfortunately, conservatives and Republicans going to have to arm themselves to defend themselves against radical, unstable, unhinged Democrats who are going to come after them come November. Or maybe they see a Republican or a conservative and they assume they are, may commit acts of violence against them. The devil is a lie. Not here. No. I'm praying over that demon. Also remember this, that the writer of this article says, rank and file Democrats are not our enemies. They are our friends, family, co-workers, and neighbors. Get off Twitter. Turn off cable news. Don't become what you hate. Rapid, angry dogs like Joe Biden and Jack Tapper, whatever his name is. Nevertheless, a target is being placed on our backs. We are being scapegoated for the left's serial political failures, and it would be foolish not to acknowledge that reality and prepare for the worst. I totally agree with this writer of this article. I have been saying that, and I see it on the horizon. I pray that it does not happen come November. I pray that it doesn't, but I believe in my heart it's going to happen. So if you happen to be a conservative watching this video and you happen to listen to what I have to say about it, unfortunately, as the writer of that article says, I'm in total agreement with it. You're going to have to prepare yourself if you're not prepared. Be on alert. Be on the lookout. You don't have to walk around on eggshells. You don't have to be fearful. There's a difference between being fearful and being prepared. There's a difference between being fearful and being alert. When I'm on my job as a security officer and I'm standing outside, I'm always on alert. I'm always watching, but I'm never fearful. I don't fear anybody. I fear no man. The only person I fear is God. I don't fear no person. I look them dead in their face. When they come to my job and threaten me and get in my face and all this kind of stuff, I say, sir, I'm not that one. I'm not the one. Don't walk up on me. Had somebody just recently walking up on me, threatening me. He gonna walk up on me because I told him to stop harassing a young lady that was within the perimeters of Tower City on our property. He's harassing her because she didn't want to give him a cigarette or whatever. And she goes about her business. He comes on the scene, starts, I could have called you a B. I could have called you an H. I could have woo. He just kept going on and on and on. So he's like 3 feet away from me, 3 or 4 feet away from me. I said, sir, you need to just keep it moving. You don't tell me what the F to do. Nigga, I ain't talking to you. And I stood there. I didn't even look at him face to face. I stood there because you're not going to scare me. Like a fool. So I'm standing there. So he had the audacity to start walking up on me from my right-hand side. I said, sir, let me tell you something. Don't walk up on me. Do not walk up on me. I begged the man. I said, I begged him. Don't walk up on me. I begged him, not for my sake, but for his sake. Because I told him the camera is right above. So the dispatch can see what's going on. He said, I don't care what that camera said. I said, you need to care because if you put your hands on me, I'm going to defend myself. So do not walk on me. That's what I said. I said, I am that kind of security officer. I will defend myself. Don't think you can just come to me and try to put fear in me. The devil is a lie. And that's what the attitude conservatives and Republicans have to have. You have to look the devil in the eye and say, you're not going to put fear in me. I'm going to vote for who I want to vote for as an American citizen. Just because I have a different worldview than you You're going to sit up here and try to kill me. We got all kinds of people in this country with all kinds of worldviews. For crying out freaking loud, we got serial killers and rapists and people who sacrifice their children to Satan because of their worldviews, and you want to kill and confront Republicans because of their worldviews. Are you sick? Are you insane? Well, you are. Not you guys. I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm talking about the extremist, radical Democrats that's pushing this kind of rhetoric. I said it, and in the end, I'll say it again. They're trying their best to stir you up to anger. This is a Marxist tactic, folks. This is a Marxist tactic. This is what the Marxist insurgents or communist insurgents have used for decades in not just America, but in other countries. That's how they get control. They stir up division. They stir up hate. They stir up anger to the point where people's fists are raised like Biden's was when he was giving that speech. This raised and doing all like this to indicate anger. Well, it gets to the point when these radical Marxists / communists incite everybody to the point where they're ready to just put their hands on the other. Is exactly what they want. They want a revolution. Once the revolution comes, then they can come in out of hiding. Okay. And I say this all the time, come in and fix the situation with socialism, which will eventually merge to communism. And this country will be through, period. Bottom line. Doesn't matter what side you're on. You can be Democrat and Republican, but I'm going to say it to you right now. You're being had. The Democratic Party is the party that the Marxists and the communists have infiltrated more than the Republican Party. There are some on the Republican side, but it's mostly on the Democratic side because their policies are more in line with the communist and socialist and Marxist ideology. So that's what they're merging with more. So that party, the Democratic Party, is in danger. Let me end the video on this note here. Alexander Ocasio, whatever her name is, AOC, she's a self-proclaimed socialist. She said that right out of her mouth. And look at how radical she is. Her policies are very radical, and that's why a lot of Democrats who are more modest won't get in line with her because she's so radical. But from last article I read, she's really attracting the attention of a lot of younger people in this country because a lot of young people are being brainwashed and conditioned to accept socialism as the ultimate economic answer to this country. It is not. It will destroy America just like it will destroy all the other countries. You're being had. You're being deceived. It's a trick of the devil, a trick of the adversary. And I know I'm coming hard with this, man, but that's just who I am. Anyone bothered to listen to my videos, I come hard because I'm passionate about what it is that I believe. And that's what I wanted to say about that. Sum this video up. What ended up happening here is exactly what myself and other conservatives have been saying, that man was radicalized. He was radicalized, thinking that millions of Republicans and MAGA supporters here are extremists. What evidence do we have of that at all? What evidence do we have of that? Please don't mention January 6th. I'm going to keep putting that out there. Don't give me that nonsense. That happened 850,000 years ago, and that has been debated. That has been argued, and in many instances debunked. That's why the Democrats keep going with it, because they don't have nothing else. They don't have no other way to argue their point. They have to find that as a point of argument and constantly push it on the mainstream media to get to the minds of unstable people who don't watch any other kind of media sources. Woo! I'm praying. I'm praying for America. I'm praying for America. For those of you who believe in the power of prayer, keep praying for America, because ultimately this is a spiritual battle. And that's what I have to say about it. What do you guys have to say about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. God bless you all. See you again.